Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nice. Thank you. It went okay. It's been okay. The news is not okay, but the news is continuing to get worse, but it's okay. It's pretty cool actually. I like it when the news gets worse. I like it when bad things happen. When bad things happen, it's always good. Always good times. Let me see. Nice. Okay. Thank you for dropping by. Please drop a like on the stream. Really appreciate you joining Jolah Talks, whatever the hell. Jolah Talks, whatever the hell. I don't care. Let me see here. I'm trying to make sure I get something on this YouTube short stream. Thank you for $2, Jacob. You support Trump. Well, don't worry, you won't soon. Just keep coming back. Just keep coming back, and we will fix it. We will fix that problem. Don't you worry. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Sound settings looks good. Nice. I'm just trying to put one more image on my YouTube short stream. Probably something of Trump and Zelensky. Help with help get views. Let me see. AOBS. Oh my god. Okay. That should be good. Just so we have that on the screen, you know? Just for now. Oh, I gotta go shut this off. 1 second. 1 second. The good conversations I've been having with Trump supporters. Where can I debate? Go to the short stream. There's a phone number in the short stream if you want to call in. Who did this? Okay. Who is... Okay, I'll go to this. Get this open. Looks good. The Trump supporter sent me this meme. Tyrant Zelensky banned the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. Okay. Zelensky ban Ukrainian Orthodox Church? Question mark. They banned the Russian Orthodox Church. You can't do things associated with Russia. Okay, that's one claim. He banned political opposition parties. Also, he banned the pro-Russian party, I assume. I wonder if that even be Zelensky's decision. They've banned multiple... They suspended 11 pro-Russian parties. That's completely reasonable. Okay. Banned members of his own party. Banned media who criticized him. That's not true as well. If he banned everyone that did not agree with him, then U.S. media would not be there at all in any capacity, including right-wing or left-wing media. But people do love lying about this situation because it's their job, essentially. It's really painful talking to people about Trump and Zelensky and Ukraine because people have no idea what's going on. They have no idea about any treaties. They don't know what leads to peace or whatever it might be. And they have really strong opinions about things they don't really get. They just parrot whatever Daddy Trump tells them. And it's been really painful because people are so dumb, dude. And apparently they have such big, strong opinions about these things that they should not have opinions about because they are not informed.
Seeing in the White House yesterday between President Zelensky and President Trump. But I think a lot of Republicans were cheering President Trump on, and I think this gives you an understanding of what's exactly cooking on that side of the aisle. Republicans on the Russia-Ukraine war, look at this, want a quick end of the war, but Russia still keeps the captured land from Ukraine. Look at this. Look at the majority of Republicans. 74%, three-quarters of Republicans, near unanimity on that particular subject, compared to just 25% who say that they support Ukraine's fight, even if it means a longer-lasting war.
Yeah, so they basically, please drop a like on the stream. Maybe we'll get a caller in here. You can call in through the phone number on the YouTube short stream. But yeah, pretty much Republicans are emotionally fragile. And they get really mad when they hear about Ukraine because they're told to by Donald Trump. And they want Ukraine to surrender to Russia, essentially, so their emotions can feel better because they're whiny babies. They don't know how Ukraine funding would affect them. It really doesn't. The U.S. is ranked 17th in total funding for Ukraine as percent of GDP. We have not really helped Ukraine that much. Most of the money we gave to Ukraine, we actually spent in our own borders for blue-collar jobs to replenish our weapons supplies. Yeah, Russia cannot be trusted. Trump loves Russia. He hates Ukraine. Trump loves China. He hates the EU. Trump hates Canada. He loves North Korea. He loves dictatorships.
The bottom line is this, it's very clear, very, very clear that Republicans want an end to this war. They are willing for Ukraine to give up that land that Russia...
Republicans are willing for Ukraine to give up the land. Thank you, Republicans. Republicans are willing.
They do not want this war
wow, what a sacrifice.
And I think what we saw yesterday in the White House was a clear...
And by the way, Zelensky said, even if Russia kept land, if they had no NATO, okay, and Zelensky would step down, he would do those three things to get guaranteed security. But they refuse to give Ukraine guaranteed security. And you cannot trust a ceasefire by Russia. They have betrayed the Budapest agreements. They have betrayed all of the Minsk agreements from 2014 to 2015. They betrayed a deal from 2019. They betray ceasefires literally the day after the ceasefires are signed. Okay, they betray treaties the day after the treaties are signed. When the U.S. and Russia spoke in Saudi Arabia, without Ukraine or the EU, during that meeting for peace, quote unquote peace, Russia shot, I think, over 200 missiles into Ukraine during that meeting. Russia only uses ceasefires to delay and then attack further. They delay and attack further. Any good faith that they want to try to have, they don't. Okay, they don't have good faith. They don't care about anything except domination. Putin considers Ukraine to be fake. He wants to restore the former Soviet Union. Think about the European Union. Think about America being a union of states. He wants the Soviet Union to be reformed. But reforming the Soviet Union is hard because the countries there don't want to be a part of Russia because Russia is a brutal dictatorship, and that's the main reason they beg to be in NATO and they beg to come to the West, because Russia is such a terrible country. But remember, Trump refuses to say one bad thing about Putin. He will not say one bad thing, regardless of your opinion on this war, regardless on your position on how you can end this war. Your opinion on what's best for Ukraine or World War III, whatever you think that means. Regardless, Trump refuses to say something bad about Putin. He says all the bad things about Zelensky and lies his ass off. Why? Why does he do that? Why does he need to lie about our democratic allies, including Canada, the EU, all of our other friends? Okay, really think about why he needs to lie about that. Why does he side with Russia? Why are all these countries fighting and begging to be in NATO? Because they're afraid of Russia and Russian aggression. People don't want to live in Russia. They don't want to be under Russian control. That's why Ukraine had a revolution in 2004 and 2014. And do you think any Trump supporters know? Do you think Trump supporters know? Because they bring up the NATO guarantees that were supposedly given. The NATO guarantees where they would not move 1 inch east. That was discussed. It was reported that it was discussed during the negotiations for Eastern and Western Germany, the reunification of Germany. You know, when Reagan said, tear down that wall for Gorbachev. Nothing about that conversation was about NATO or NATO expansion. Gorbachev has said that multiple times. Nothing about the conversations were about NATO expansion. It was about Eastern and Western Germany. In fact, in 1997, Russia and NATO signed a treaty or a deal or whatever, but Russia and NATO signed a plan where Russia acknowledged that NATO would be expanding. So Russia officially in 1997 officially recognized that NATO would be expanding, okay? But the rules were new NATO countries, new members to NATO would not be able to have nuclear arms in them. And there were a couple other rules about aggression and about you know, trying to attack Russia, for example. But in 1997, Russia did say, we know Russia's gonna, or we know NATO's gonna expand, and let's have goodwill and good faith moving forward, because economic partnerships matter, global partnerships matter, and Russia knew that. But Putin took over. Putin made sure it would be a complete oligarchy, autocracy, dictatorship. Putin killed every chance of Russia being friendly with the rest of the world, and made it very clear from that point on. So yeah, Russia cannot be trusted. Anyone who's yelling at Ukraine, getting mad at Zelensky, is falling for the propaganda and the reality TV show. You need to check yourself, because it's really disgusting, and you just look dumb. You don't know any of this information. You don't know any of this information. If people don't tell you this full scope, and I barely even got into, I probably covered 5% of the entire issue right now. I probably covered 5%. But yeah, you need a better understanding of everything that's happening right now. Zelensky is not a dictator. Zelensky is there because of a democratic election, okay? And democratically, Ukraine has pushed back their elections because they are being brutally invaded by Russia, which is dropping hundreds of missiles on them per day. If Trump calls Zelensky a dictator, lie. Trump says Ukraine got $350 billion from the U.S., lie. We gave them like 120 around there, 120, 150. Most of it was spent in the U.S. That's why Zelensky was in the U.S. and Pennsylvania. Okay, Zelensky was touring the weapons facilities in which we were spending the real Ukraine funding on. Okay, that's why Zelensky was in Pennsylvania. He was not campaigning for Democrats. He was looking at the Ukraine funding. He was looking at the Ukraine aid that we spent in our own country. Okay, so it's a lie. The number Trump says is a lie. $350 billion, a lie. The EU gave Ukraine far more money. Far more money. Okay? The EU has given Ukraine more money. We have given weapons for sure. We have given weapons. We have not given the same aid as far as like taxpayers are concerned. The EU has given far more money. Okay? Like I said before, America is ranked 17th overall in total spending as percent of GDP. We are not picking up our weight at all. When it comes to this conflict, we have not. J.D. Vance voted against every Ukraine spending package. Donald Trump has given Ukraine $0. Zelensky has thanked the U.S. publicly on tape over 100 times already. He has been very, very, very freaking grateful. He has tried connecting to America's history, being a people fighting for an independent nation during the American Revolution. But the sad part is Americans are no longer tied to a fight for freedom. Americans are more tied to watching sports and being dumbasses on their couch, devolving into puddles of their own self-gluttony. They're more obsessed with themselves and their own pampered lifestyle than they are with the idea of having to fight for anything at all. Americans are very, 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 very pampered right now. So when Zelensky tries to reach out and makes appeals to American freedom and independence and liberty and justice for all, most Americans are so disconnected from that. They have not learned those lessons. It's not by chance that the generation of World War II vets has almost completely died out just in time for the U.S. to probably leave NATO, which if you're going to put money down, the U.S. is going to leave NATO, okay? The U.S. is going to leave NATO or kill NATO. And we already have left, okay? Even if we have not officially left, if we are not going to back up any articles of NATO, if we are not going to come to the aid of NATO countries who are attacked, we have left NATO, okay? We are out of NATO already. Get it through your heads. Left or right, we are out of NATO already. We are out of NATO. We are a country no longer in NATO. Elon Musk has already said we're going to leave NATO on Twitter, which means that is the president. So we are leaving NATO. It depends on when. The U.S. is trying to profit off of this, weakening Ukraine sovereignty, weakening Ukraine's ability to defend themselves. The U.S. is a parasite. I'd rather the U.S. not be involved at all in conversations rather than take the side of Russia. The U.S. has ended cybersecurity attacks on Russia. They have ended our safeguards for cybersecurity attacks from Russia. So we are just dropping the ball. We are just letting Russia dominate the U.S. We are letting China dominate the U.S. globally by taking all of our partnerships. And you know, if our president is an emotional dipshit and he's going to cry because of someone not wearing a tie or being emotional, which those are two lying points, by the way. He doesn't give a shit about that. He's lying to you. But if we have an emotional president where if you say one thing wrong, okay, why would any country want to do business with us? Why would any country want to buy arms or defense systems or anything of consequence from the U.S. if we are going to shut it off? Why would they buy anything from us? Why would they have any deals with us if we're going to shut it off? If our president has an ego trip and cries about it, if you think that's leadership, you have the brain of a 12-year-old kid playing Call of Duty. You really have no ability to reason with the world in any other way except reality television. Because if you think Donald Trump's a strong leader, then you are pathetic and weak too. And I don't want you to be pathetic and weak. I don't want you to be abused. I don't want you to be taking this beating. But Donald Trump just tonight is opening the Bitcoin crypto reserve. Not even Bitcoin. Solana and a bunch of other dumb networks, okay? So he is going to give American taxpayer dollars to pump and dump Bitcoin and a bunch of other cryptocurrencies. I should stop saying Bitcoin. I should stop saying Bitcoin because the main ones they're focusing on are the really, really, really big scam cryptocurrencies. So Trump had his own Trump coin. Trump has made corruption more legal. Trump is going to scam more people with cryptocurrencies. Trump is going to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security and cut taxes for the ultra wealthy. Trump is going to abandon Ukraine, abandon the EU, abandon Canada, give support to Russia. Russia is dying economically. We are saving them. We are saving Russia. We are responsible. The U.S. right now is responsible for restoring Russia as a global power. The United States is restoring Russia. We are the only chance they had back to any type of global reign. Okay, any type of real global power. The U.S. is saving Russia. The U.S. is killing USAID, which is a big wish of Russia and China. Okay, China is scooping up that influence everywhere. And when you're not going to buy weapons from the U.S. because you can't trust them because they're not reliable, who else is going to step in? You know, when we fight with Canada and all of our partners, what other trade routes are they going to develop? They're going to develop other trade routes with other countries. What Trump is doing right now is killing America, is killing the economy in America in ways that are not going to be known for a few months or maybe a year, okay? But we are going to feel a Great Depression-like scenario if this continues. If you don't stand up and realize what's happening, and stand up to your congressperson. If you're a liberal, if you're someone that's on my side and you wake up every day and you're like, what do I do? Find a congressperson, find a representative, find someone nearby, find someone you could spend every single day trying to take down with propaganda, counter propaganda. Find a race nearby you with a Republican and a Democrat, and make sure that Republican answers for literally everything they're about to do to screw over the American people. Make that your life's goal whenever you wake up. You want to make their life, their political life, their chances to win, you want to make it as low as possible. Make it something personal. You're not going to control what the president does, but you can. Each of us, all of us at our own level, in our own localities, with our own elections, our own counties, townships, cities, states, whatever it might be. Every one of us that can organize and push against this movement to attack it from its weakest points from the grassroots level. Any one of us that can do a little bit better and a little bit of good every day is going to play a huge role in our chances to break out of this in the future. So yeah, find something that you can go after directly and try to do your best there. Even the information I just said right now off of the top of my head, because I'm so I pay attention to this stuff and I research this stuff. I hate that I need to I hate that I need to. But I guess that's why I am able to grow a channel, and thank you for watching, thank you for dropping a like, thank you for subscribing. I will start taking phone calls. But this is all just like, I don't know, bro. The propaganda is insane. They set up a freaking reality TV show for America, and they ate it up like always. Americans are so easy to scam. Americans are pretty much defenseless because their brains are broken. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for dropping a like. Thank you for subscribing. Okay, we're gonna take some phone calls now. Channel memberships are $3. Please consider becoming a channel member. If you look at the Bitcoin market right now and all the cryptocurrencies, whoever is rich is making a lot more money now. Thank you, Trump. Yeah, we're gonna take some phone calls. Please consider donating through the Coffee link for text-to-speech, Jolah Politics, Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal for any other donations at all. If you want to skip ahead of the call-in line, you could donate $10 with your first name and your phone number. Okay, your first name and your phone number. Jolah Politics, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. First name and your phone number, $10 or more to skip your way ahead of the line for call-ins. I'm going to open up the call lines now. If you want to call into the show, feel free. Okay. Fun.
Illustration of that Republican point of view, Donald Trump representing Republicans well on this issue.
And so what is the trend line, though, on how Republicans have felt about the war ending?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just go, oh my goodness gracious, you see it.
Yeah, well, Trump gave the marching order, so they changed their mind on it, of course.
Call from
Super.
Hello.
Hey, Jolah. Or Jolah, my bad.
That
Been a long
works.
time. I just have a quick question. My job keeps me in the mountains a lot, so I don't have a lot of time to keep up. I am very interested about the Trump shutting down aviation stuff and all the plane accidents in the recent months. Can you give me an update on that without having me to Google anything?
So Trump with the FAA, when it comes to aviation in America, there was a contract that was going to go to Verizon for our networks, for air traffic controllers, for example. But now Elon Musk has taken control of the federal government. He's going to be giving that $2.4 billion contract to himself. So they're basically tearing everything apart so they can give it all to Elon Musk and his companies. So that's the main reason things are being shut down right now. So they could try to, switch it over to make profit off of it.
Do you feel like aviation communities are generally more autonomous and more willing to say no to people like Trump or whoever's in power? Is this like the first step of oligarchy? Because that's what people are touting around me, and I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, it's not really up to, when it comes to air traffic controllers, if you're going to have like a federal contract for all of your networks with like Verizon and switch it over to someone who just like donated the most to the president, the richest man in human history, who is now in control of government contracts and he can reroute government contracts to benefit himself, then yeah, we are having decisions made not off of evaluating different prospective companies that can work with the government, but just based off whoever donates the most money to the president. So yeah, that's I would not say we're in a full oligarchy yet. We're definitely like 90% there. We were probably 50% there, maybe 40% before Trump, and now with Trump, we're probably like 90% to an oligarchy, I'd say.
What's the nail in the coffin, do you think?
Trump is making corruption more illegal. He is helping fuel cryptocurrency pump and dump schemes. He's doing a lot of different things. He wants to cut taxes even more for the wealthy. He shut down the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is one of our best government agencies, which just protects the American people from fraud and corruption. It's one of our best agencies, too. They return so much money back to the American people. It's very cheap to run in terms of taxpayer dollars. So, yeah, those moves, bypassing Congress and everything, that part is whatever at this point. But he is killing every method in the government to hold corruption accountable and to protect Americans from corruption.
Is the consumer protection stuff, was that like the process of eradicating that, was that going on while the process of getting Trump going live was going on, or were those like both the same thing, or was that a wombo combo that he jumped on after he got it shut down?
Yeah, they're doing it all at once. The goal is to do it all at once so they never get actual scrutiny, so they can't really see what people have to say to react to it. So yeah, it all came at once. The Trump meme coin, crypto's already pretty unregulated because they like scamming people. They say it's like a free market tool to like lessen state power, but now the U.S. government's backing certain cryptocurrencies to pick the winners, and they're paying themselves through that as well. It's all connected though. Trump the other day said that lenders and banks called him crying, saying the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau made their life hell. And I'm like, dude, after 2008, I want them to make the bankers' life hell. But Donald Trump said he's going to stand up for the bankers and lenders, so he took their side over the American people. But the American people are not seeing that yet. They will during the next financial crash, which might come soon because our housing bubble right now is bigger than it was in 2008. But yeah, we'll see.
One more question. Is the FTC just like too busy to be involved? They're chasing hawk to a coin right now, or are they actually going to do something, you think?
Well, Trump is shutting down, like I said before, like that's part of it. Trump is shutting down every single agency that is meant to like hold corruption back. If you get screwed over by a bank or by a big company, he's removing that. Essentially, if you're rich in America, crime is it was already pretty legal if you're rich, but now it's literally just you pay off the president and you can get off free because he's the executive branch. They enforce the laws. They can just choose not to be the executive branch. They could choose to not enforce laws selectively based on who their political friends are. So yeah, it's all tied together. Super fun.
Horrifying. All right. Well, Real quick, I appreciate it. My job literally does, like, I'm making fires with sticks in the mountains for 30 weeks of the year. So coming back every now and then and watching your stream is really fun, I'll be honest.
Well, I appreciate
All right, brother.
you coming to watch. I'll try to keep updating as much as possible. Their goal is to make it overwhelming, too. Their goal is to make it so much information that we can't, like, actually evaluate what's happening. They just use slogans to shut down our critical thinking facility. So, yeah, thanks for the call.
No worries, man. Thank you for answering. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, next up. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like and subscribe. Jolah Talks Politics. Hope to see you around. Hope to see you stay. I'll do this one next. Nice.
Hey, Mr. Hypocrite, why do you silence people who call you out about, you going to go fight for Ukraine? Like, if you really care about Ukraine, they're taking prescriptions, right?
You say I should go fight for Ukraine? You can't even handle just like having aid go to Ukraine, you pussy. Like, what are you even talking about?
Call from
Man,
all Ukraine wants is ammunition and aid. They have never asked for U.S. bodies.
To send a voicemail,
and you guys can't even handle that, you pathetic little weenies. Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, what's
this
up?
This is Jolah, I assume.
I wish it wasn't, but it is. Yeah, what's up?
Word on the street is you're only 5'3". I wanted you to confirm that for me.
No, I'm only 6'2", but I'm lying about that.
I could tell. Well, I suppose the orange villain will win then. Too bad. Oh well.
Interesting call. Very insightful. Thank you for wasting my time. Appreciate it. At least have a funny meme if you're gonna waste my time. At least have a funny meme, okay? At least be funny.
Call from
Crystal Clear Pools.
to accept.
Hello.
Finally, I'm graced with your presence. It's Jonah, right?
Jolah.
Jolah, that's right. Dude, I've been following you for like a month and a half. I called in actually like a month and a half ago. We had a pretty constructive conversation. What? All right. Hold on. 1 sec. Okay, hold on. Yes. All right. So of course I get interrupted, but okay. So I've been following you for like a month and a half, right? And I can't really stick to most of your talking points, but I just want to generally talk about, right now we're talking about, the Kulinski thing and all of that. You understand why Donald Trump got elected in the first place, right? It was to cut spending. Our deficit is through the roof. Like we're spending so much money, we cannot afford these things. The USAID.
Okay, so answer this question: why does the Republican budget increase the deficit even more and increase our deficit ceiling by $4.5 trillion?
All right, since when? When was this? Recently?
The budget that was passed last week. Yeah, the budget framework.
I know what you're saying. My only answer to that would be it takes time to cut these things. It takes time to cut these things.
Are you familiar that Donald Trump increased the deficit by more money for each year he was in office? It kept increasing. Okay, so
oh yeah,
what
you mean
do we have
COVID
to see?
No,
before COVID. No. Take COVID out of it. He still increased our deficit every single year in office.
All right. Let me just say, dude, I'm a libertarian. I try to take things with a grain of salt from all types of media. I listen to a lot of right-wing media. I listen to you. But a lot of the stuff that you say is just, I know you know that you're lying about it.
Okay. So Donald Trump from 2017 to 2019, every year as president, the deficit increased. Do you know that?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, so it increased without
aware.
COVID. So why did he increase the deficit without COVID? Why did he keep increasing?
Because when Donald Trump first got in office, he was not prepared for the amount of corruption that he was ready for. He hired a bunch of people that weren't even on his side. And now, I don't know if you realize, he has Tulsi Gabbard, he has RFK, he has Elon Musk, he has all these people.
He has power-hungry hacks who switch parties based on whoever's in office to try to get power. Okay.
Power-hungry? No, I don't.
Yes, they switch parties. RFK called him Hitler. Vance called him Hitler. Tulsi supported Bernie and then Biden over Trump.
Yeah.
They support whoever's going to win. They try to get power. Yeah. Elon Musk was a liberal. You are just a sheep. You follow all the
dude,
billionaires
right,
that tell you what to
stop
think. You're a sheep.
All right, first off,
Do you think they really care about you? Do you think they really care about you? The guys that switch parties every year based on whatever can get them the most power, they care about their bottom line, dude. They don't give a shit about you. Stop acting like these are your friends. Judge what they actually do. Bring up facts about what they do. No, I want you to trust yourself as a person. No, I want you to trust yourself as a person. No, I want you to understand that they are not your friends. They are not your friends. Don't say every Democrat. I don't care. If you want to cry about Democrats, go cry to someone else. I'm saying that you don't. They're not your friends. I'm saying they are the ruling class. They are over you. They are not your friends. I want you to talk about facts. I want to talk about facts. Don't bring up RFK and Tulsi like they're anti-corruption. These people are the most corrupt people on the freaking planet.
Okay.
So talk about facts. Talk about facts. Yeah. Go through facts. Yeah.
Facts are Elon Musk is going in and he's gutting all of these agencies that spend money on bullshit, and our taxpayer dollars are going to that. And that.
Okay, is veteran suicide a bad thing to fund? Like, I'm making sure we can go against veteran suicide and provide veteran services.
So now you're gonna pinpoint a bunch of bullshit things, dude. I'm talking.
Do you support our national parks? Why are we cutting our national parks that are 0.0004% of our budget?
You're just pinpointing dumb things that there's a lot more content.
Why is he cutting our national parks and veteran services? Why is he cutting national parks, veteran services, and Medicaid?
There's context beyond that. Bro,
okay, what is beyond that? What is beyond that? Tell me.
Okay, should we just keep spending until our deficit? We haven't.
Oh no, bring up facts. Bring up facts. Okay, what spending is bad? Which spending is good?
I'm telling you. Can I tell you a fact real quick before you interrupt me and talk over me and call me names? Can I talk to you? I've been listening to you for a month and a half. I know how you talk. Can I fucking talk to you for a second?
If you've been listening to me that long, you should know I don't care about bitching and complaining. Just get on with your point.
Our deficit, we cannot afford to keep on spending the way that we do until 2029. This country is going to crash into the ground.
Oh yeah, you know that no economist agrees with you, even the conservative ones. It's gonna crash by 2029. What economists do you listen to? Like, what economists? What have you cited? What are you citing for that information that we're gonna crash in 2029?
I'm not citing anything. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I know you aren't. But where did you get this information? Oh, I have vibes. Oh, you have vibes. You have vibes. How many trillions of
dollars are we at? How many trillions of dollars do we have?
Do you have vibes? How many trillions of dollars is in circulation right now?
That's not a vibe, dude. I'm looking at our deficit. Nobody could get away with this right now. Let's say you owed fucking $10,000 to a bank.
Okay, if you think the national debt of the United States acts like your personal finances, you're a dumbass. You should not be talking about politics. But you're a libertarian, so I know you're stupid already. So it makes sense.
I'm just talking about the deficit. We cannot continue to spend $2 to $3
trillion. Okay, you have no reason. You don't know anything about the money supply. You don't know anything about the deficit. Like, why would you say that? What sources? Cite anybody. Cite anybody saying that. No. You think it's your personal finances. You think it's your personal finances. So tell me one thing you know about the deficit that you know that it's going to be crashing by 2029. And if so, why are Republicans increasing it by $4.5 trillion and $2 trillion per year? If that's true.
You want to know my source on that? You're going to hate it. It's when Elon Musk was just talking to Joe Rogan. That's what he said because
you got your sources from the Joe Rogan podcast, and you think I should take your opinion seriously, bro? You hear yourself.
He talked to Joe Rogan.
Yeah. You're a libertarian that gets his research from the Joe Rogan podcast.
Can you stop just talking over me for a second?
Do you know anything about the actual economy? No, because people like you are killing our country now, and I give a shit about America. I love America too much for dumbasses like you to base your political opinions off the fucking Joe Rogan podcast. Bro, tell me what the hell you think about. Tell me actual facts that you know about the world.
You're just so full of shit, man.
Go listen to the Joe Rogan podcast if you want a pat on the back. If you want someone to kiss your tummy and rub your belly to make you feel good, like a good little boy, go listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, and you won't have to have any difficult thoughts ever. You can just go be nice and happy in a valley somewhere, just prancing along with flowers. Pretty boy, like seriously.
What sources do you trust? What sources do you go to? Where are you getting your news from? Generally,
I don't know. We could look at anything, really. We could look at the Federal Reserve. We could look at our energy and commerce. We could look at anything.
Where are you getting your source from? What news source do you usually use?
I don't use news sources. I use official person from the government. I use US.gov, brother.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, name one good cut. Name one cut Elon Musk did so far.
Name what cut that he's done?
Yeah.
Gutting the USAID. That's all a bunch of bullshit, and you know that.
Okay, so it's a bunch of bullshit for us to maintain our trade routes and soft power globally. And
by the way,
why does China want that?
Where this money that he has?
Ooh, okay, yeah, sure.
He's selling weapons to the cartel for 20 cents.
Oh, you believe that propaganda point has zero backing behind it except for Russian media sources?
Right?
It's completely not true. Do you think Zelensky's a dictator too?
Bro, you're such a dude.
Do you think? Okay, you're saying things that are not true. You're saying things that are not true. Hey, you have not said one fact. He's not selling guns to the freaking Mexican cartel. You dumbass. You low-level prick.
How do you know that? How do you
tell me what you actually understand. Tell me one thing that's an actual fact. Do you think Zelensky's a dictator?
Anything? I'm looking at the same fucking shit that you're doing. And by the way, during COVID,
I already saw that lie. I covered it. You could look at the video. I put up a video about this. I put up a video about this 3 weeks ago because I knew it was a lie, and I covered it. And I cited my sources and everything.
I just want to say I'm Joey M in the chat, and all those fucking motherfuckers that say, "Oh, dude, you just found Fox News talking points." Not one thing that I've said is a Fox News talking point. Fox
The
News,
idea
nobody
that
listens to.
the idea that Ukraine's selling guns to the Mexican cartel is one of the most brain dead takes you could possibly have. Yes, that's a stupid freaking point.
Because Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson is on the payroll of Russia. He does propaganda videos in Russian grocery stores. You dumbass.
He's been more right about.
Can you cite one thing? No, he is not. He has not been right about literally anything.
Why does he have the following that he has? And fucking MSNBC is going to shit.
McDonald's has a big following too. Is McDonald's healthy? They have a big following. Is McDonald's a good place to eat at for your health? Do they have good information too? Are you gonna go to McDonald's for your health advice? I mean, okay, well, McDonald's is super. McDonald's sells a lot of food. Drake sells a lot of records. They both suck. Tucker Carlson's very popular. They all suck. I'm saying that's not a real argument. Tell me your real argument. Tell me your real point about anything. Do you think Zelensky's a dictator? Do you think Zelensky's a dictator?
Do I think who?
Do you think Zelensky is a dictator?
Yes, and I was actually going to tell you about this.
Okay. Why is he a dictator?
Because he stopped the elections in his country because it's wartime.
Do you know that the Ukrainian? Okay, do you think? Okay, you think Zelensky stopped it? Wait. Okay, stop because you're wrong about that too. Do you know there's a vote from the Ukrainian parliament where the parliament voted, even the opposition party voted to keep the martial law moving forward because that's Ukrainian law during wartime. Zelensky did not make that decision. Parliament did. The Ukrainian people did.
White supremacists in Ukraine too.
Okay. Just remember that one point you brought up about Zelensky is fake. Okay, can we go back to that? Can you admit that the Ukrainian parliament voted unanimously to retain the martial law because of wartime?
Is it the people?
Yeah, the opposition party, the elected representatives voted yes, just like any democratic system, just like ours would, just like any other democratic system would. It was a democratic. It's in their constitution. They're following their constitution. They're following their laws. And by the way, there's a lot of historical precedent for elections to not be held during wartime. During World War II, you would not be using that against. You would not be using that against these leaders.
You want to know about my opinion about Ukraine? It's not our war. We need to stay out of it.
Okay. Just remember. Okay, for everyone watching, remember he was completely annihilated on that point about Zelensky being a dictator, so he has to move on to some other dumb topic. He's gonna bring up the Azov battalion. He's gonna bring up Ukraine yachts probably. He's gonna bring up a bunch of other funding. He's gonna say that. How about we talk about how Zelensky didn't? How about we talk about how Zelensky doesn't know where $100 billion went that we gave him, right?
I believe that too. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know why? Because I know exactly what media you're consuming because I study people like you. And I know that Zelensky, when he talked it, because I actually look at context. Because you're like, what sources do you use? What sources? You know what sources I use? I Google the fucking speech that he actually said it in. I Google the actual statement. But you're a low-life piece of shit that'll just drive our country into the abyss because you're too lazy to do any research. Look up the actual Zelensky quote. He was talking about where is the money because most of the money we gave Ukraine was spent in America, you dumbass. It was spent in America. That's why Zelensky said that. He doesn't have cash on hand of $350 billion or $150 billion. All of this was money spent in America. That's why Zelensky was touring Pennsylvania, not to campaign for Democrats. It's because the money that we spent for Ukraine, most of it was spent in America. Most of it was spent replenishing our weapons in America that we sent to Ukraine. That's why he said that. That's the actual context. That's the actual context of the quote of Zelensky.
Because he spent money on U.S. fucking corrupt weapon companies.
It's about the weapon companies. It's not about the actual facts. Can you engage with facts? Dude? Can you engage with any facts at all? Can you engage with any facts at all? So you just said that Zelensky lost $100 million. Can you admit that was not true as well? So Zelensky, number one, is not a dictator. You know that's true. He did not say he's missing $100 million. You know that's true already. Okay, so we're fixing your brain piece by piece. We're fixing it piece by piece. What other dumb shit do you believe?
I love that you're actually, getting motivated and fired up because not many Democrats do. It's all kind of embarrassing to watch you guys now. And at least somebody has,
at least somebody can actually read. Can you say one point, you dumbass? I'll talk to someone who actually has a brain if you want.
What do you, dude? I'm rebuttaling.
Because you're bringing up you have cited the Joe Rogan podcast and Tucker Carlson as your fucking sources.
Oh, because I cited Elon Musk, who's running Doge
Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay, here's my question.
Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan podcast. I'm so smart.
All right, here's my last question, crybaby. Do you think
you call me crybaby? You're stupid. You have no idea. You're weak. And you're not stupid. You're a smart guy. You're just so weak. You're just so weak. You can't even Google what I... Okay.
Do you think we need to cut any money? Do you think we need to cut any money? Do you think this...
Do we need to cut any money? Do we need to cut any money? From what?
Where's the corruption coming from?
Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Tell me.
Coming from?
Tell me where's it coming from. Tell me where.
the USAID and wherever the fuck Doge is finding it.
Really, USAID was
truly believe in it.
was the point of corruption. Interesting. Was the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau also corrupt?
Was it what?
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, was that also corrupt? Is that why Elon Musk killed it?
I don't know much about that, but probably.
It's just probably because you believe anything your daddies tell you. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau protects American consumers against big banks. Everything you're repeating right now is just what you heard on Joe Rogan. You literally said you read off Joe Rogan. You don't do any actual research. You read nothing. You listen to podcasts because you probably can't even read. You can't even read what I'm saying right now, and I'm talking to you. Like, bro. Okay, now let's go through. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was put in place in 2010 after 2008 financial crisis. The goal of that agency is to protect Americans against fraud from big banks and big lenders and other big corrupt companies in America. This came as a result of 2008 because we wanted to hold these companies a little bit more accountable. Republicans voted against it, of course, because they're pro-corruption. Democrats voted for it because they're somewhat less pro-corruption and they want to hold it a little bit more accountable. But this agency costs around $600 million. Yeah. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has returned $21 billion back to the American people over the past 14 years. $21 billion back to the American people. It returns more money to the American people than it actually costs to run. So, I mean, Elon just killed that to help his rich friends.
Do you not remember when Obama dumped money into these big banks just so they could survive because they just sent out loans to everybody?
Okay, so so you realize that what you're saying right now is not nearly as bad as what Trump's doing right now.
Big banks here. Who's
Donald Trump by removing the agencies that were put in place after 2008 to hold them accountable. They were too big to fail. We gave them loans that they paid back. You don't know how that works either. Do you think we just gave them money in 2008? And by the way, I'm not for the way we did the bailouts. But still, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is a very good agency that returned $21 billion back to the American people. You have no facts about anything, which is why you have your ideology, because you have no facts.
Let them keep on being corrupt, but there's billions and billions.
Okay, so the big banks corrupting Americans is good because you support Daddy Donald Trump. That's perfect.
I don't think the big banks. What, dude? What do you fucking? Now you're putting words in my mouth.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was actually helping us hold big banks accountable, and Elon Musk killed it. Elon Musk killed it because he did not want to hold big banks accountable.
No, Obama.
Why is Donald Trump removing the anti-corruption police? Why is Donald Trump removing the anti-corruption police? Do you know what he said? I can quote him. I can quote him, by the way. I can quote Donald Trump. Hey, whoa. I can quote Donald Trump. I can quote Donald Trump. I can tell you why. Donald Trump said that banks and lenders called him crying, and the banks and lenders made him feel bad. So the CFPB was causing the banks and lenders too many problems. So he had to get rid of it to help the banks and lenders. Donald Trump said that 3 days ago. He wanted to help the banks and lenders. He literally said it.
Hey, guess what, bro?
Be more corrupt. Oh, you support big banks being more corrupt? Yeah,
I support it. Guess what? Because you're so fucking mad that he's going in and gutting all your
because there's a real world. There's
shit.
a real world that shit actually matters, and you kids cannot engage with it. You kids cannot engage with it.
But the smartest man in the world
your billionaire daddies. They're the richest and the smartest. I love them so much. I trust all the information off the Joe Rogan podcast. I can't think for myself because I'm a dumbass. Well, you can't think for yourself. You got to follow big billionaires. I feel so proud for you.
Yeah,
you're gonna find some sense of self eventually. It's gonna be so nice.
Why didn't Kamala go on there? Why didn't Kamala go?
Oh yes, I forgot that your brain only functions off a Joe Rogan podcast because you never had the struggle in your entire life. You're probably born in the most suburbanite community ever. You don't understand how the world can be bad because everything has been served to you on a silver freaking platter with golden spoons.
You really think that?
Like,
you're the one that's been begging for $1,000 to get a new PC, motherfucker.
Yeah, because I'm from the fucking working class, dumbass. I had a working class family, working class upbringing. I'm not gonna suck up to billionaires. Stop sucking up to billionaires. Stop sucking up to billionaires. You should go jump in your pool and go for a swim, Jack. That makes no sense. Yeah. You clean pools. Good job. Okay, then stop supporting the billionaires that want to kill us, bro. Why do you think it's okay for them to screw us over?
All I know is gas prices go down. That means chlorine chemicals go down, and
the gas prices have gone up. The prices have gone up. Have you not gone to the store? Grocery prices are going up. Gas prices are going up. All the prices are going up. Consumer sentiment is at the lowest level it's been since the pandemic. But you don't care about that because Donald Trump's owning the libs. You don't care about the lower prices. You care about owning the libs. You care about making me mad more than you care about supporting your own family.
Dude, you just say whatever you want, and guess what?
I say things that are true. I say things that are true. You just said shit about Mexican cartels and Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan podcast.
By the way, we got rid of all of them. We're fucking sent them back to where they belong, by the way. And thank God.
You have no idea what's happening at all. I can scan you so easily. I'm gonna make a company. I'm gonna make a company that goes after stupid people. No, this is amazing, bro. The fact you can cite zero facts this entire conversation is amazing. Can you just like reference how the Ukrainian parliament? Do you think Do you okay? So the Zelensky quote. Wait. I don't. You can. Okay. So you realize
you haven't cited one.
Okay. You realize if you hear Zelensky say something, you can go listen to the actual conversation and realize in context what he was saying.
I listened to the 40-minute conversation with him and Trump, and all.
No. I said about the $100 million thing. All of these things, you only trust what you heard on the Joe Rogan podcast, though. You'll never go to any primary sources.
You know they cannot account for that fucking money. You know they can't. Just like the Pentagon.
You are so stupid. You're so stupid. Okay. You're so stupid. They have not gotten that money. They have not gotten that money. The total U.S. aid funding is like $120 billion. Most of it was spent in America. Ukraine has not gotten $170 billion or $350 billion.
Well, you trust fucking
That's
Ukrainians
what's in the congressional bills. It's in the bills. Congress approved the funding, dumbass.
And you believe that's where it goes? I don't know if
you can look up the funding. You can see the actual weapons facilities that are being built. Go do some investigative research if you can't trust anything. But see, I can bring up actual laws of Congress, and you will not take that as information. Remember, guys, everyone in chat too. Everyone in chat. Wait for a second. Wait 1 second. I'll let you get final word. I can bring up literal things people have said and literal laws in Congress, and this guy will not accept it. But he'll come back and say, "I heard this on the Joe Rogan podcast," and he thinks that's a valid point where he can call me dumb. Okay, you can go.
If that's how you want to sum it up, fine. Listen, I'm still going to be a fan. I'm a fan because at least you have the balls.
I don't care.
To say
Shut up.
Shit. No, you have the balls to talk. And
okay, I'm talking to someone else. I don't care. You have the balls to say. I don't care, bro. I really don't care. You have the balls to say shit, bro. Please consider donating on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Okay. Thank you for becoming channel members. I saw your stuff. I saw your super chats. Thank you. Coffee as well. Please consider donating. Become a channel member. For $3. Thank you for $10. Yellow 3. I did see as well. Chips. Thank you for $2. And Yellow 3. Thank you for becoming a channel member as well.
Call from
Preston.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, Daddy Trump.
Okay. Nice. All right, someone else calling. That guy really called in for the past hour to do that. Remember that. Remember what these people are doing.
Call from
Weston.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. I'm living the dream. How about you?
Living the dream. Is this not the right number?
This is the Jolah podcast. The Jolah, yeah. What's up? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, okay. Well, I was just watching one of these that said it was live, and so
yeah, you're live right now. You're live. You're live right now. You're live. You're live.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just wondering what your thoughts were on the information about billions going to Ukraine and whatnot, but then weapons being sold kind of on black market and or anything pertaining to what makes us like not let them into NATO and all that stuff.
So the idea that Ukraine is selling weapons makes no sense because they are spending money to buy more weapons. They want weapons. They need weapons. They have just asked for ammunition from countries and some humanitarian aid. But yeah, they're not selling weapons. There's no proof of that. The only sources that say that are generated from literal Russian sources. And when it comes to the other stuff, you could ask another question.
Oh, okay. Well, my lady came from Russia, and she knows how corrupt Putin is and all the rest of it. That's the reason she came to America, for our constitutional protections and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was kind of wondering what our politicians' corruption with the Ukraine situation, if you had any intel on that I might be able to look up.
Our politicians' corruption with the Ukraine situation? I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what you'd be referencing. Like American politicians?
I guess Biden and Hunter Biden and all of that stuff. Is there any like teeth to that claim, or is
no?
That
so the Hunter Biden laptop did not have anything incriminating Joe Biden, and also in general the whistleblower that the conservatives were using to say that there was corruption in Burisma or whatever. That guy admit to lying, and he got federally indicted for it. So yeah, there's no teeth on it. If there was, then Republicans would have impeached Biden or ran on it, or at least like push it really hard. But they gave up because they couldn't really find anything super substantial.
Okay, last thought, and then I'll get off. I was just curious. Do you think that Putin's going after Ukraine because it's the breadbasket of Europe, so he can kind of have oil and food on deck?
Yeah, I mean, Putin has said multiple times Ukraine's not a real country. He has violated multiple peace treaties, multiple ceasefires, multiple deals with other countries to demilitarize different regions of the Donbass and other areas. But yeah, Putin wants to reclaim the former Soviet Union. He wants Ukraine, Belarus, Georgia. I don't think he would stop there necessarily, but of course you do press up against NATO down there. But NATO's already bordering Russia with like 5 or 6 countries, so that argument about NATO is kind of dumb. But yeah, he wants the minerals there. He wants the resources, and he also wants to strong arm United States and Europe into letting Russia back into the global economy. The U.S. right now is saving Russia from total and utter collapse. Russia, if we kept on giving aid to Ukraine and continued this, they would be like we're pushing to welcome Russia back into the world economic order, which is hugely beneficial to Putin and really bad forces that I don't like.
Yeah, and it sucks that a lot of our weapons and like bullets materials are coming from Russia too. I wish we had a better source for that.
Yeah, well, China's also taking our influence globally because we're killing our programs that are anti-China, like USAID. That's good for soft power. We are starting fights with all of our allies, and that's also really bad for the U.S. People in the U.S. say, how do these wars affect us? How do these trade deals affect us? Because Americans don't know how the globe works. Like these things all do affect us. They affect consumer prices. They affect gas prices. They affect safety. They affect cybersecurity. There's a whole laundry list of. There's so many things that supporting these like supporting global stability benefits. America reaps the benefits of all of this stuff. But that's part of the reason why Americans don't know any better, because we haven't really had to have a war on our own soil or anything like that. The last time probably was like Pearl Harbor, and Pearl Harbor was in Hawaii, and that got us into World War II. But even a basic history lesson would let Americans know that Trump says we have big beautiful oceans protecting us, big beautiful oceans. Like that makes zero sense. It did not make sense 200 years ago. It definitely does not make sense in warfare in 2025. It's insane.
Hey, brother, they're all politicians. If they're talking, they're lying. I'm about the Constitution, not the left or the right. But I appreciate you.
I'll tell you what, Donald Trump is the most lying, most anti-Constitution president I have ever seen, other than Andrew Jackson, probably.
Damn, that's crazy. Why would you say that?
Everything he says is a lie. Everything he said about Ukraine so far is a complete and utter lie, and he does it for fun. He loves it. He loves lying. He pardoned the January 6 people, the violent ones that beat up the cops, and also some of them were child abusers. And there's no remorse at all for it. I mean, other politicians can say, they can stretch the truth. They could say things that are not 100% true, but Trump has taken lying to a whole new level, to constructing whole new realities. Being able to say Zelensky's a dictator, saying that we gave $350 billion, just like things that are objectively just made up out of thin air. Okay, lying about your motivations, or lying about corruption, or lying about how a bill, how you intend it to function, is different from just constructing realities. Making people, it's like 1984 doublethink, making people, telling people to betray what they're actually seeing and hearing is the shit that Trump does.
What do you think we should look most for out in this presidency? What should we be guarding ourselves for, as far as actionable steps we can do day to day to not be as affected or to be less affected?
I don't know. Trump is destabilizing the American economy. He's hurting us on the world stage. He's probably bought out by Russia and China. I mean, everything he's done so far has been extremely destructive to America. And again, Americans are not going to see that because they're more obsessed with not liking trans people and pronouns and immigrants. But we're going to see it eventually. We are going to see it.
Look at the left hand, while the right hand does the things that you really wish you would know.
And we're going to leave NATO too. We're 100% leaving NATO. Put your money on it.
Really?
I guarantee we're leaving NATO. So? Well, Musk has already said we're leaving NATO, and even if we did not leave NATO, we're not going to reinforce the articles in NATO. So if we don't reinforce the articles or Article 5 or whatever, then NATO is basically fake anyway. If the U.S. is not going to be there to keep the global, at that place, I mean, at that point it's a placeholder. It's a name. It's just a name. It's not really a treaty organization anymore, because the U.S. strong leadership globally we're the United States. You know, we said tear down that wall with Reagan. Now we're saying please invade our walls. It's insane.
Well, I appreciate you. Good luck and take care. Sorry, I don't have anything else to add.
All right,
but
yeah,
I
thank you
appreciate
for the call. No, I appreciate the call. I do love the calls that I don't have to be yelling over a dumb libertarian. But yeah, thank you for the thank you for the little chat. Hope
Yeah,
to see you
take care,
around.
man.
All right, have a good one. All right, someone else calling. Okay, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. Please consider dropping donations on Jolah Politics, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. If you want to skip your way ahead of the line, $10 with your first name and phone number. Okay, $10 or more donation with your name and phone number, first name and phone number to any of those three sources. We'll get you on the stream. Coffee, if you donate through Coffee, KOFI, that will give you TTS. Okay, text to speech. Your message will be said out loud. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for becoming channel members. Thank you for subscribing.
Call from
Christian Teller.
Hello. You are
Hey.
you're live. You're live if you hear this. What's up?
I know. I don't know where we were at in the conversation. The thing was paused. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So, look. I'm calling you to give you a bit of a reprieve. I know things are tough. I know everyone's a little stressed out. But something we all have to remember is it's going to be a tough 4 years for all of us. And I get it. I really do. I just want you to know that we're watching you, and people are going to start looking up to you. And maybe you could come at these calls with a little more calm, you know?
Okay, someone else calling. I will adjust my rhetorical style as I deem is appropriate. You do not need to call in and tell me. Okay. My last conversation was calm. My first one was not calm, and I think it's appropriate to not be calm because these kids need to be put in their place when they talk about dumb shit. It's okay though.
Call from
Daniel.
I would say that there is
To
I do have
accept,
rhetorical
press 1.
strategies we'll
To
go
send
over
a
as a
voicemail,
community, guys.
press
So join the
2.
community, join the Discord. Hello.
Hello.
What's up, man? What's
Hello.
up?
Yeah, my name is Daniel. Yeah, I'm currently like a Trump supporter. I was just because of the previous years of like Biden, because I didn't like how it turned out. I thought it came out a little bit like too woke and stuff, and certain things that yeah, to be honest, I did vote for Biden at the time, but then the actions that came out after the worst.
What
like you
parts
said,
were
with
too
getting
woke for you?
victims. Just mainly like the support that you have like for the woke people and stuff. So I didn't.
Who are the woke people?
Like I don't really understand that to be honest, but I think in general, like those as far as like those transgender people and all that stuff. But that's like a separate thing. I just didn't I didn't like how all that stuff was going on, and I just didn't really like support all this stuff, and I felt like the things that were being funded or money that were being like funded to certain things were being kind of wasteful. But and then there's
so
like
why do
another
you
point.
hate so for trans issues, Biden himself just included trans people in civil rights in general.
Well,
So like
well,
what
I don't
what don't you
I
like
don't
about
hate it. I just didn't. It's just like I just felt like things weren't like our taxpayers' money like weren't really directed to like essential stuff, important things,
Most taxpayer money
And
spent on the military, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. The stuff you're probably
yeah,
referencing is a very small part of the budget. Unless if you're
yeah,
against like
that I definitely
Medicaid.
agree. Yeah, that thing, that stuff, I totally agree. And there's a lot of things that I probably hear because I don't really uh things they absorb as far as information goes are mostly from news, and and I don't really. It's hard for me to believe a lot of it, so I kind of take things from a grain of salt. Like for what the things I mentioned at this moment is pretty much what I hear and see through the media and stuff. Um, and that's pretty much like a whole separate thing that I didn't like, and especially
Well,
with
okay.
Kamala Harris.
Is there
That kind of.
what did Kamala Harris do?
Oh, I was gonna say that kind of sealed the deal when she wanted to like fund the sex change and all that. So that was like another
Fund the sex
like
changes for what? I mean, they were funded under
for like the
Donald Trump.
prisoners
Well, that was funded
and
under Donald Trump too. It was just like a program that's there for medical care. If you're against giving medical care to people in prison, that's fine. But I mean, if that's your line, I don't know what we could even talk about. If you have a question about the economy or how your life can be made better, it seems like you're more obsessed with like punching down on groups like that than you are supporting your own self and understanding how the world can be made better for yourself and your neighbors. I don't know. I can't really add much to what you're saying.
oh, and then as far as the and as far as like and another thing I was kind of confused was like they mentioned that there was no like evidence of or like proof of Zelensky receiving like money to fund the war and all stuff.
What?
And
Zelensky did not receive money to fund the war for his own benefit.
so when you said that that was kind of contradictory because when I saw like when I saw the what do you call it, the minerals, like the minerals agreement that didn't go through during that meeting, like with Trump and Zelensky. I heard Zelensky mentioning that when Trump was asking like, "Oh, where's the money?" As and Zelensky mentioned that he had like the receipts, that everything was all recorded like digitally, and that he had all the proof of where the money is. So that's another thing I was kind of confused when you mentioned that there's no proof, but Zelensky says that he does have.
Well, okay. So Trump says Ukraine got okay. Trump made the claim that Zelensky doesn't know where the money is. Zelensky said we have the receipts for all the funding we got, which is true. The claim that was not true is that Zelensky got like $100 billion or $350 billion from America because we spent most of that money on weapons. So Trump lies when he says the amount of money we spent on weapons. He also lies when it comes to the idea that the money's not tracked. Zelensky said it's all tracked in receipts because he does not personally benefit. He is not getting rich off of us giving aid to Ukraine. All of that's going to the defense effort versus the invasion of Russia. So Zelensky is not personally benefiting. And also, we did not give Ukraine $200 billion in cash or $350 billion in cash. They received probably $40 billion in humanitarian aid or $50 billion. And most of the funding was through weapons. And we paid Americans, we paid blue-collar workers to produce weapons in America, and we sent weapons to Ukraine. We did not give them money. So that's why Zelensky said that.
Oh, okay. So so it was just an exaggeration. So it's not like.
Well, Trump lied multiple times. He's still lying about the funding numbers. He's still lying about it. It's not exaggeration. It's a lie.
Oh, I was referring to like exaggeration on as far as the money that that supposedly that was spent on Ukraine. That was more than what it was, or technically is.
Yeah, so like Trump lied about it. Zelensky was just trying to set the record straight on it because Trump kept saying the $350 billion number, which is not true. But yeah, you can bring up anything Trump said about this entire situation. Nothing he said has been like true so far. It's been just like lies. But yeah, do you have like a final thing to end
on? No, I was just wondering, like, do you so pretty much you don't really agree to like the agreements what he's or what do you call it,
Oh yeah, the minerals agreements that he's trying to do with Zelensky.
No, I want Ukraine to have actual security. The minerals deal does not give Ukraine actual security guarantees. It pillages 50% of all of their resources for all of their resources. It kills Ukraine economically. It's very manipulative. It's abusive. It's a colonizer. I don't even know how to. I don't even know what word to use. It's really bad. And Trump is blaming Ukraine for the invasion. Trump is calling Zelensky a dictator. Trump refuses. You could tell me if Trump ever says anything bad about Putin or blames Putin for this, because he will not. He will not tell Putin he's wrong. He will not say anything bad about Putin because Trump's afraid of Putin. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So I pretty much so my standpoint is like I like what Trump is doing for America, but as far as like overseas, like when it comes to Ukraine, I'm kind of on the fence. I don't really agree with anything. And then as far as open picture, I kind of see like Trump does want to end the war, but he kind of wants to also benefit from it.
Yeah, it's really gross, right? Because if you really want a peace, you would not be asking Ukraine for all of their resources.
But at the same time, I feel like he doesn't want to give those securities because he doesn't want to risk escalating it. And as far as like he can't really please both of them, so I feel like both have to have a sacrifice.
Well, he gave. He gave Russia everything they wanted. The only country that's being asked to sacrifice is Ukraine. That's the big issue here. Is like Trump seems like a servant of Russia. He has not said one bad thing about Russia. He has given them he said good things about Russia. He wants to welcome, he wants to give benefits to Russia. If you're saying both sides needs to suffer, I mean, you can make an argument for some type of deal. But Trump is extremely heavily pro-Russia in his stances. Like you can just think about when he's talking about Putin versus Zelensky, or he's talking about Canada versus China. He talks much nicer about dictators around the world than he does free countries. He talks terribly about our allies. He refuses to ever say anything even nearly mean about Putin, which is Hitler levels of evil. Putin is. I appreciate the call. Thank you for calling in. Definitely hope to see you on the channel. We have a Discord as well for anyone watching. A Discord is in my channel description. My video descriptions on any video has a Discord link to join our Discord. Mods also drop the Discord every now and then. But yeah, thank you for calling in.
Wait, can I make one last point?
Sure.
As far as when they shouted out, remember? I don't know if you saw that when Trump shouted out like, "Oh, you're gonna to Zelensky, like, oh, you're gonna cause World War III if you don't sign this deal." I kind of I took that as if he doesn't sign it, and if he wants the securities, if he does the security deal, add the securities, I think it's gonna force or piss off Putin, and I think that's where he meant it's gonna cause like World War III because Putin is gonna not like that because he does not want Ukraine to go to NATO if he joins NATO.
Why does Putin not want Ukraine to NATO?
Well, in his perspective, like he has a lot of reading, a bunch of reasons. Well, one of them was because he doesn't want NATO or anybody closing up to his
Are
borders.
you familiar that we have currently 5 NATO countries bordering Russia?
Yeah. So, and he does not want more added to it.
Well, okay, so that's a different argument because people say he does not want any NATO countries against it. But it seems like, Putin, if he's going to cause World War III, he's going to cause World War III. That's not something that he's going to decide based off Ukraine alone. And I think we need to stand up to the bullies and stand up to the dictatorships globally. And World War II teaches us, basically every conflict teaches us we need to stand up to movements like this when they start to squash them out as soon as possible. We should be big, strong America. I don't know why we're kowtowing to Russia and being little pathetic babies. Thank you. I appreciate it. I gave you a rebuttal, but I got to move on. Thank you. Okay, someone else calling. Thank you for liking. Please drop a like, subscribe. Please drop a like and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, Zelensky also did say joining NATO's off the table, yeah.
Call from.
Hello.
Hello?
Howdy, what's up?
Hey, man, I'm kind of unique in the fact that I believe that it's all kind of nonsense, but I do have a question for you, and that's, what does a Javelin missile cost? What are these? You said blue-collar workers make bombs, and the average engineer makes about $90,000 a year, which is way above the poverty line in the United States. So you say that he's funding, this $280 billion or whatever it is, a false number, but these missiles cost a fortune to make. So whether we're buying missiles or we're giving them cash, we're still spending money, and it's lots of money. It's not a couple $1 million. It's hundreds of billions of dollars. So I don't want Democrats to do it. I can't see it from my yard. Neither can you. In PA and Florida, we're good. I think we're wasting money that we need here. We have homeless people everywhere across the United States. We have food issues.
That argument does not work at all.
Why doesn't it? Do they border PA? I mean, is the Ukraine on your border? No, but we have people.
Does Japan border the U.S.?
No, you're not hearing the question.
Did Japan border the U.S. in World War II? Did Japan border the U.S. in World War II?
How quick was it over?
World War II?
How quick was Japan?
Are you saying that World War II is inconsequential?
Did they occupy us?
No, the point is, if there's a global war or a global conflict, it gets back to us, whether it's through trade, whether it's economic sanctions, whether it's terrorists, whether it's violence, whether it's drone warfare, whether it's nuclear wars. We could do both. I mean, okay, then why are we cutting taxes for the ultra wealthy? Then do you want to make food programs for the poor?
I agree.
Okay, we could easily do both. We give more in tax cuts to like 3 companies than we do. Yeah, 100%. Our budget can easily do both.
Pull up the national debt clock right now on your computer and look up.
That's not how we measure that. We do year-by-year budgets, and year-by-year budget, Donald Trump right now wants to raise our deficit, and he does not want to give money to Ukraine. We just sent $5 billion to Israel yesterday on an emergency issue because they want to go through and do their genocide of Palestinians right now, and we're going to support that. But MAGA, like Trump, will not fund Ukrainian defenses, but he will fund Israel aggression. This
logically, do you agree that we have problems right here in our country?
Yeah, and like cutting our connections globally to our allies is going to hurt that. It's going to make it worse for America.
Is that going to hurt homelessness here?
Yeah, because it makes everything more expensive. It makes everything more difficult to do. It makes everything harder.
So the $194 billion spent across the country over the last 10 years to correct homelessness, which did nothing.
Okay, we can spend more money in areas like that.
But there's
we can spend more money.
In LA.
We can spend more money in these areas. It's a big issue for sure.
It needs to be spent here.
No, but we could support Ukraine at the same time. There's no reason we can't do both.
How can we just keep going backwards, kick the can down the road?
No, so like we could go back if we go back. Well, okay, if generations like yours keep voting like absolute dumbasses, then yeah. But like when it comes to okay. You know what? Actually, I don't want to talk to you then. If you're ideological and you did not vote for either one of them, don't call. I don't care. If you did not vote at all and you can be encouraged to vote, then sure. But this guy is ideologically a dumbass. Like, he's a loser. Like, I'm not. Why'd I waste my time talking to someone who's not going to vote for either person in any election ever? Like great. Wow. You didn't vote. That's really cool.
Call from future voter from Georgia. To accept, press 1. To send.
I'm sorry, we're not taking friendly callers right now.
Call from
Peter.
We're only hello.
Hey, sorry, I got my AirPod in, just checking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can hear you. Let me just tell the chat really quick. If you're calling in as a fan of the show, we're not gonna do many calls like that tonight. So save that for a different night. We're doing people that disagree tonight. But yeah, what's up?
I just one quick point. I mean, there's a lot to cover, but I was just going to say one thing you mentioned earlier. You discussed that you believe that a lot of the folks that are supporting Trump now, like Gabbard and RFK Jr. to name a few, I don't know, a year ago they kind of were on the other side of the fence. Now they're in Trump's camp, and you had mentioned they're kind of, I think you said hacks perhaps. And my only question is this: is my perspective review is that you probably don't support much of what Trump is doing across the board, which is fine. That's your choice. But I guess my point is do you feel that everybody, like across the board in Trump's organization, is kind of like rotten fruit, or do you think there are any good people in there? I'm talking about like the figurehead, like the bigger titles.
No, there's not one person in that administration that's not corrupt. That's why they're there. They would not be there if they weren't corrupt. Trump made it very clear.
And is that so? I guess my question, and again, totally fair for you to obviously hold that viewpoint. Is that are you saying that that's like your opinion, or are you kind of declaring that as what you perceive to be like a factual statement? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
I mean, right now we're giving our tax dollars to cryptocurrency reserves, boosting the bank portfolios of the ultra wealthy. We're cutting taxes for the ultra wealthy. We're cutting Medicaid. We're looking to cut Social Security and Medicare. We're giving China the world stage of global dominance and soft power influence. And we're giving Russia every single one of their foreign policy and domestic policy agendas right now. So, I mean, as far as American leadership goes, we are killing America. We are doing every, like, decision that'll hurt America and Americans and just the human race in general.
Okay. And as far as like, so obviously we could go back and forth in terms of our perspective, and that's yours, and you could base that on what you perceive as facts, and I could do the same. But I guess going back to the original question is, as people though, do you believe that the folks like Gabbard, RFK Jr., Elon, whoever, like I said, the big kind of the cabinet level folks, do you think they're operating though in good faith, whether their actions tend to be poor, or in your case they're kind of tanking America? You feel that, but do you think in their hearts that they're acting in good faith?
No, they know they're corrupt too. I mean, you can't really go from calling someone Hitler to supporting like Biden or Bernie or whoever, and then go to supporting Trump, unless if you're guaranteed to get more power. And that's why they go to different parties and everything. Like Musk doesn't really care about trans people or immigration. He does not care about those topics. He does though, because he knows that'll make him more popular with MAGA. But if you look at Musk talk now in his press conferences, he talks like an absolute dumbass. He uses like a third grade speaking level because he knows the audience. And he's not that dumb, but they all do it for power. Yeah, they're getting huge kickbacks. Elon Musk is directing government contracts to himself. Tulsi Gabbard is a known agent for foreign governments. She was best friends with Assad. She's very friendly with Russia. She's noted by Russian state media as their girl. And RFK just called Trump Hitler. He makes money from anti-vax merch and anti-vax legal firms, and now he's making it impossible for us to have a flu vaccine. So I mean, they're all corrupt.
So my only statement is, and obviously you said a lot there. I'm not going to sit and dispute everything. We're going to obviously come down on both sides of the fence, which again, totally cool. My only I guess observation would be, statistically, like if we were to just remove, you and I from the equation in the debate and just look at it from a statistical standpoint, the odds would not favor an entire pool of anybody, whether it's left or right, being entirely corrupt or entirely benevolent. It just the odds statistically, you just it's almost impossible. And I feel free to fact check me on this. Statistically, it would not bear out 100% like contaminated pool in any form.
It's not a random data set though. It's a highly selected group of loyalists that have been selected over the past few years. So I mean, if you can name one person who is acting in good faith, no, it's not possible, because Trump would not allow them in if they were not a loyalist. That's the point of this administration. The deep state were good people that Trump was against.
I don't disagree with that. Yep, I do. I agree that Trump would only bring on people that I think that he kind of for years has said that loyalty is kind of like one of the number one qualities. I think that's a major flaw in him personally and professionally. But I would just say again, regardless of the sample size, statistically, you're not going to be able to. And then the other thing too is I think that you're putting kind of the cart before the horse. I think what you're saying is that Trump had these folks kind of in his in his scope for a long time, and that he's slowly been culling these people. But if we look at this objectively, and we just again remove you and I from the conversation entirely and just look at it, the folks that kind of like ended up making his team kind of made waves, whether you agree with the kind of waves they made, whether there was good faith or bad faith, they made waves like independently of any party on their own over the last 12 to 18 months. And then Trump kind of looked at who the big names were and chose from them. So it wasn't as though he was kind of cultivating people.
Yeah, he picked off TV, but a lot of those people were cultivated
right,
for
yes,
like Cash
I could
Patel,
not
for
agree
example,
more.
or Pam Bondi. Like they've knowingly been corrupt for a very, very, very long time. So I mean, there's some people that he selected, some people he saw that were good on television, but they're all designed to be loyalists and propagandists. There were some late additions for sure, but they all had to buy
Sure.
into the Kremlin crew.
But I guess that's my point, though, is like I said, it's just, I guess because the timeline does matter, and that's where it goes
Okay,
back.
but what
to
is the value statement you're
statistically.
making here? What is the actual value statement you're making? How does this
Oh,
change anything?
I think
we're
it's
talking
incredibly important. I think it's
Okay,
incredibly
in
important
what
because
way?
the cabinet is what we're talking about, and what
Okay.
you're saying is that the cabinet is entirely comprised of rotten fruit. And
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm just
definitely.
offering to you is that statistically, that's not a practical statement.
That
to
makes
make.
no
And
sense.
that's it.
Okay,
And if
do you have any
disagree,
points to make? Do you have any points to make? Points to
That-
make? Because I
I
mean,
just made my
statistically,
point. Hang up on me
if
like
I'm
you normally do.
Okay, don't cry. Okay, so I'm just saying. Okay,
Right. You hang
what
up
you're
on
saying
people
right now.
when they start
Stop
when they start to make
crying!
points.
Stop crying!
Yeah,
Chill. Let me talk.
There's that
Shut up!
leftist
Shut up! Let me.
temper.
Okay.
Hang
There's
up.
the leftist temper because I don't know how to make a coherent point. If you have someone
anytime
selecting for
anybody
a
makes
position,
headway
if you
or
have someone
pushes
making
back
a,
against
if you
your
have,
deeply
hey, okay,
held biases, you lose it. And I've been listening to you all night. That's what you do.
okay. You're not gonna let me talk after I listen to you drone on as the most boring caller of the night. You're not gonna let me respond, okay? Then you're not gonna call in again. Sorry, we have numbers. Yellow. Yellow. Thank you, Yellow. Yellow's a Yellow. Yellow with a big one. Yellow with a huge dono. Thank you, Yellow. Thank you, Yellow. Thank you, Yellow. Everyone say W Yellow in chat. The 5 people that actually like me here. But yeah, that guy did not even make a statement that I disagree with. I don't know how I can disagree with his statement. Like, why did he get mad? I don't know why he got mad. He didn't even say anything. He made 0 points. I'm more mad that I lost. I'm more mad that my viewership got cut in half during his call. My viewership got cut in half during his call. He made 0 points. Did he make any point during that? What was the point what was the point he was trying to make? Statistically, it's like, no, he has been hyper selective. It's not statistical. It's not a random data set of random people you're pulling out of a crowd. It's not statistically, like, that makes 0 sense. It's a whole lot of nothing. Okay, I'm going to do a reset. I'm going to do a halftime for the stream. Thank you for joining me. Statistically, the 2029 cabinet. I mean, 2016. I know he's saying not all of Trump's cabinet is corrupt, but he just said statistically speaking. Like, $2. Yeah, I am taking call-ins, but I'm taking a little halftime break here. We're taking a halftime break for the stream. We're 1 hour and 30 minutes in, around there. Go over to the horizontal chat. I'll start a new short stream in a few minutes. I'm going to throw a video on and grab a drink. I usually take a halftime to the stream. And this is going to be our halftime. Go talk in the chat. I run 2 streams on my channel at all times. Okay, there's 2 streams running. I have a YouTube Shorts stream and I have a horizontal stream. I have both running at all times. So go over to the horizontal stream now. I'm ending the YouTube Shorts, and I'll start a new YouTube Shorts in around 10 minutes. And you can call in again in 10 minutes, okay? If you still want to call in. Thank you for $2. And then I'll do whatever calls. I don't care anymore. Here you go.